Is he showing the video now? Ooh.
Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors and actresses have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting by actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, direct from Hollywood, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Everybody, I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Roll it, Tony. Ladies and gentlemen, my first guests today are members of an award-winning theater company with a 30-year track record of collaborating with school and community groups to create plays, videos, and programs that promote constructive dialogue about diversity and discrimination. Please welcome Norma Bowles, founder and artistic director of Fringe Benefits, and Tiffani Nanka-Bruce. Let me say that right. Tiffani Nanka-Bruce. Did I say it right?
Tiffani Nanka-Bruce.
Okay. CT4CT program co-director. Ladies, welcome to the Actor's Choice. Now, they say what's in a name, right? Fringe Benefits. How'd you come about with that one?
Oh, in the beginning, we were working primarily with homeless youth, and they had been kicked out of their homes, most of them for being LGBT. And so what we wanted to do was to do work that would be of benefit to them, but also we knew that things they had to say would be of benefit to everyone. So the fringe benefits the middle, and the middle benefits the fringe.
Wow. You know, I got to tell you this. One of the many items from your organization that I admire, it's your website.
Oh, yes.
Your website, it tells you everything you need or want to know about your organization. Out of sight. Thank you. So what is CT4T? What does that mean?
CT for CT, creative tools for critical times. Because Lordy B, we are living in critical times.
Okay.
People just Tiff, please.
Yeah, so CT for CT is a multi-complex workshop that we do, where we do workshops with grassroots communities and improv groups, high schools and universities. We also recently hosted a showcase via Zoom of all the different videos that our students and interns had put together. And the goal of it is just to give everyone an outlet to share stories of how upset and divided we are right now because of all the crazy things that are going on. So we have all this anger and confusion and no tools on how to let it out. So that's what we try to do, is give people a platform to just use their voice to tell others and get others passionate about what's going on, so that people can do something about it and not just sit in it.
Yeah. Oh, one of the things Tiff said recently was that basically it's like we're making lemonade, right? People are throwing lemons at each other. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. And what we're doing with these workshops and showcases and symposia is bringing some sugar.
Yes.
We're adding some sugar so people can be able to talk about what's going on in ways that we can hear each other across different communities, across different identification markers, to hear each other and to support each other.
Okay. If you
so
take
we're
a
making
moment,
lemonade.
Gotcha, make that lemonade. If you take a moment, ladies, and please tell us, everybody, who are you and what exactly do you do with the organization?
Well, I started it back in the day
Okay.
with my pal Ernie Lafke and with a bunch of other great folks from mostly from Cal Arts, and I started it because I wanted to do something to help build bridges of understanding
Yeah.
between discriminated people and others who are more privileged, and create opportunities for creative, exciting, constructive dialogue. And that's where my heart and soul has been for so long, through the teaching and through helping create original plays and programs and workshops. And I found Tiff. Yay!
Tiff, yes. Hi,
Woo!
Tiff.
16, we found each other.
Yes.
We found each other at LMU. Norma was my theater for social justice teacher. LMU is Loyola Marymount University, where I got my undergraduate degree. And she told me about her company, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm on board for that, because there's too many voices that are being silenced. And I know this company uses, that's what they do. That's what we do. I shouldn't say they, that's what we do, is give a platform for those silent voices.
You teach tolerance, ladies. Please explain.
Norma,
Oh
you want to
boy,
jump in on that one?
that's a growth industry, isn't it? Oh my goodness. I think it's talking to be heard, um, helping people both understand how to communicate something in a way that builds bridges of understanding through analogies, using some humor, spoken word. Everybody has to use their own innate talents and ways of speaking, but also tune into how their audience, they're speaking with, what they need to hear, how they need to hear things. It's like our principle is, it's like choosing a birthday present. You know, you don't get your somebody a boombox just because that's what you like. You give them what you think will appeal to them, what will strike a chord in their heart, and you find a way to build the bridges that way.
Why give people money? Give them money, let them do what they want to do.
Okay, so we have more of an agenda going.
Okay. I like plays, and the fact that you do them, ladies, I understand that you believe that the theater has the power to open hearts and minds.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
They do. I think that, so one of the plays that I really love that we did was we took a bunch of stories from elementary students from Southgate, California, and we took it to Southeast Middle School, and those students were able to write their own plays about those stories. And then we went back into that community of elementary students and showed them what those plays look like, and also had a talk back discussion with the students. So I think that that allowed students to see the different ways that they can deal with bullying and discrimination without, going to using their fists first. Let's talk about it. Let's get teachers involved. Let me see that I'm not alone and that a lot of other people are also experiencing this. And I think without that play, it would have been harder for them to see that.
Yes, for us, the ideal is to be in the room together. We get between 12 and 50 diverse people in a room together, sharing their stories and talking about how do we dramatize this for our audience. And the electricity and the diversity of opinions helps make that play rich and smart and engaging. And then when you then take it to an audience and say, these stories are coming from us all and you all. Now let's talk about them. When you're really physically present with each other, it's harder to oh, that's not real.
Right.
These days, in the last few years, we've been focusing on creating videos, though, because we have to reach across this divide now that we're all separated to keep our safety as much as possible, health-wise. We still want people to feel connected with each other across those divides. So all of our people from middle school to senior citizens living at City View assisted living, we're all sharing with each other online.
we're running out of time right now, but I took the liberty of taking a few photos off your magnificent website. So, Tony, would you run the first one there? And please, ladies, tell us what that view is that we're looking at.
That's our internship with our USC students.
Okay. All right. Next one.
Oh, that's the One and All group that we did we did a videos for social justice workshop with them. And
Okay.
we're hoping through this broadcast that we'll reach more schools and communities that want to do these workshops with us. There's on Zoom right now, in person in the spring, and Tiff and the interns and I lead people, and they create their own videos to reach whatever group they want to reach about whatever issue. Tiff, they can even call you, can't they?
Yes, they can call me. And also, because of grant support, we can offer it for free or low cost depending on the need of that community. So if you're interested, be sure to give me a call at 323-717-8984. We really, really, really want to work with you all.
All right. Next photo, Tony.
Oh, wow.
Throwback.
That was when we got to work with Augusto Boal back years and years ago, about 2005. And those are some of our lead company members. That's Cynthia Ruffin, who is on the head of our book, and Christina Nava, Christina Pipa, and Mark. And they're doing a forum theater workshop where they're practicing what do we do when confronted with discrimination? How can we handle it on an individual basis? But we're also having to deal with it systemically these days, aren't we?
Right.
Okay. Next one, please.
Ah, my babies. That is a workshop from Southeast Middle School, where we teamed up with Southeast Middle School and did our CT for CT workshop, our videos for social justice workshop with them. Oh my goodness. They're wonderful, wonderful students.
Like I said, you got a magnificent website. Next one, Tony.
This is when you see Savannah, Tori, and Danny towards the middle, and that's when they received their Hidden Heroes Awards from the CSJ Center for Justice and Reconciliation for the residency they were conducting, the Theater for Social Justice residency.
Yes.
Oh boy.
Let's do one.
I also received that award because of the work I was doing with Norma.
Okay.
Woohoo!
Can we try one more, Tony?
That?
Speaking of which.
Oh yes, this is the workshop we're doing.
Okay.
Recipes for Change. So we're doing these workshops, and we are so excited to Zoom into you or come visit you. Give Tiff a call at
323-717-8984. Write it on down.
Write it on down. Wow. Ladies, tell me this. We only got a few more minutes. What goes into setting up and operating a theatrical company? What's that like?
A lot of work. It is a very labor-intensive sort of thing, and we have a lot of loving, talented, hardworking people who are doing that. And so it's from teachers of mine and artist collaborators 30 years ago helped us start the company and make it a nonprofit. And then there are Loyola Marymount and USC and University of Redlands students and graduates who are all working together to help create the pieces and teach the workshops.
Gotcha. Ladies, let's be real. It costs money to accomplish what you do. Tell us about fundraising, what people can do to help you out.
Well, you knocked me off my socks with that one. I didn't know it was coming. Please go to cootieshots.org. And if this is a Cootie Shots like this, cootieshots.org, based on our elementary school play. And if you can donate to help us reach these underserved communities so that they can get their voices out in constructive, positive ways to become civically engaged and make this world the world we want it. Please. Tiff?
Double please.
I want to become a member of Fringe Benefits. What do I have to do?
You just say, I want to become a member.
Mhm.
I want to become a member. I want to join in workshops. I want to help lead workshops. I want to participate. I want to donate. And our Creative Tools for Critical Times program is the perfect way to do it. You
Mhm.
can participate in a workshop, a video for social justice workshop. You can join as an intern and train to lead these workshops. See our showcase and participate in the dialogue around that. Join the symposium. Everybody's going to get together and share their ideas in the symposium. And check out our YouTube page where we post. There are 75 videos on there now. CT4CT, CT number 4CT on YouTube and Facebook page. If you join us, then we can keep you in the loop. And don't worry, we only put up stuff we really believe in and care about.
Yes.
Norma, Tiffani, we're out of time. I thank you both for being here today. I wish we had more time. We got to get you guys back again.
Yes,
Because you got
absolutely.
so much to offer, so much to offer. And I thank you
I
so
want you
much.
to come and work with our kids and our adults too.
Give me a call. We'll
us
see what we can
more.
we'll see what we can do about that.
Okay.
Like I said, that website you got is out of sight. Out of sight.
Thank you. Kelly J. Parsons
Yeah,
designed that.
indeed. And best wishes, of course, to Fringe
Thank you.
Benefits Theatrical
All
Company.
right.
Lots
Have
of
a
love to
wonderful
you.
one.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm Ron Brewington. You know, ladies and gentlemen, if you have a product or a service or an upcoming event that you'd like to see advertised on this program, please, please, please give us a call at 323-533-1036. That's 323-533-1036. Our prices are very affordable. Roll it, Tony.
You can come over at any time. We're not just friends, we're partners in crime.
Oh, I am so glad you texted me. It's been way too long.
I know. I haven't seen you since the baby was born. I'm just glad you were finally free to hang out.
I'm glad you were able to come over at 11 o'clock at night. It's the only time I actually get a break from all the crying and the screaming and the whining.
Enough about Dan. How's the baby?
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today studied theater at New York University, and she was a resident actor at Headgrown Theater down in Pennsylvania. She's worked in many facets of the business, and she's freelanced for many years as an actor. Now, she recently shifted her career focus working on-air promotions at ABC. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome actress, writer, and producer, Jasmine Curry. Jasmine, good to see you, my dear. Good
Hi,
to
Ron.
see you.
Good to see
Looking looking doggone good today.
Thank you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Actor's Choice. Folks, I got to tell you, me and this lady, we've known each other for a while. She was a student of mine over at Santa Monica College. And at the time, I couldn't deal with it because she's a student. There's a conflict of interest there. But now she's no longer a student. I'm not there doing that anymore. So we can talk about it. And
All right.
Thank you. And I always used to say one thing about this lady. The Lord gave you a great gift. You remember I used to always say that about you? I said, girl, you got a voice. Look at that voice you got. Woo! Look at that voice. Look at that voice.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. You know, Jasmine, I always like to ask the actors and actresses one question.
Mhm.
What made you decide to become an actor?
Well, I think probably most actors are like, I didn't decide. There was no other choice. This was what the calling was. And for me, it started in second grade. You know, probably actually before that, loved to do it. It was the one thing that really fulfilled me. I very much am an observer by nature, so it's good to use your natural talents to your actual career. And so I was one of those who did a lot of theater in high school and realized I wanted to live in New York City. I wanted to do theater. That was where I was meant to be. I wanted to be classically trained. I wanted to travel the country doing Shakespeare. And that didn't work out, but that's okay because I've had a really great career so far over the last 20 years.
You can say that again. I looked you up on IMDb. You've been doing very well. What you got to know, as you tell, it's hard work. I mean, you got to do auditions. You got to be on a set all day long. They feed you, they pay you. That's hard work.
Well, what is it? I'm going to blank on the actor's name who says, I don't get paid to act. I get paid to sit around and wait.
Okay.
That's definitely true for film and TV. Theater's a different beast.
It's something else. Now, I see you got an education from a great school. I happen to know it's my hometown, New York University.
Yeah.
Good school.
Yeah. Where you lived up at where were you living in?
I lived uptown. There was a place called Harlem. I was in Harlem, born and raised. Yep.
Being at NYU, I was down at the Village, so I spent a lot of time in the Village in the early 90s.
Village Gate, the Village Vanguard, all those nightclubs down there.
Oh yeah, so many good ones, And I think, coming from Southern California, which is already a very diverse place, and then going to New York City, which was even, I don't know, since a young age, I've just been around really diverse people, all creeds and all identities. And I think it's weirder for me to go to an area where it's like, whoa, everybody looks the same.
They do. That they do.
But not in New York. You're like, oh, everyone's here. All the food.
Yep. The year was 2013. You got your first IMDb Actors credit for a TV series called Social Media Misfits. Can you tell us about that experience?
Yeah, what happens when you're trying to do on air any kind of film and TV, you've got to get credits, and the first thing people want to know is if you're SAG. And so honestly, I found somebody who was like, hey, listen, when SAG-AFTRA combined forces, a great sort of way in was that if somebody hired you who was SAG and was like, hey, you're needed for this, I can actually now sponsor you for your eligibility. And so I was really, really lucky to be able to do that. I'm not sure if they do that anymore, because it was, I guess, maybe kind of considered a loophole, but I took advantage of it. Good. Because casting agents won't even see you. I mean, they're kind of like, oh, you're non-union, which means you're not good. It doesn't matter how much training you've had, how much experience, you have to have at least the eligibility for it. So that's why I did that experience. And that was a quickie. It's a short. The person who produced it and wrote it and directed it, she was really amazing and really supportive. And so that was my experience there.
And it's on your IMDb. That's all you got to say.
On my IMDb.
Okay, fast forward to the year 2018, and there you are, playing Aunt Melissa in the short comedy film, The Story Topper.
Yes. So as an actor, you kind of get to find people who also want to create stuff, and that's sort of the best when you find people are like, hey, I saw you in this other thing, I loved what you did, would you come and do mine as well? And so that's definitely one where directors and actors who are volunteering their time to get to have these experiences together and be able to put our work out there, get it into festivals. That's where a lot of careers start. So again, another really great group of people, and partly because we were doing it because we really cared about it. And wanted to.
What kind of roles do you like to do?
Well, it's interesting. I think on stage, I tend to I love doing anything that's got a lot of facets and three-dimensional and serious. The last play I did before the lockdown was Our Town as the stage manager, and just connecting with the human experience. And I have a huge background, I think, because of my look being ambiguous, being, people, casting directors were like, we don't really know what to do with you. And so usually you end up going in a comedy route that way, so that I don't know, I guess people are they're more willing to cast you as the wife and the mother if you're funny. So I trained at Groundlings, and I love doing both. I'm really expressive, so that tends to lend myself to things that are comedy or a little bit more broad as well.
Actors and actresses that you admire.
I admire, you stumped me on this one. I love, I think Melissa McCarthy is amazing. She's so funny, and she's been able to do all of it. Again, that's another great example of somebody who got in the door with comedy, and then now she's doing Nine Perfect Strangers, and it's really serious and very, but she also has had a really steady career. And I think that's the thing, we're like, oh, that's what I want. I just want a good, steady, strong career. And hopefully being healthy and happy.
Okay. Back to your career. You got into another comedy, which we saw in the clip in the beginning of this interview, and it was called Partners in Wine. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. Again, in sort of this feeling of I really needed to be able to create my own work, Lauren and I met doing a stand-up workshop. So I really believe in always being out there, always training, always learning something new. That's why I came to your class. Okay, I'm going to learn, speaking for radio. And so we had done stand-up together, and we really connected and we really bonded. And at the time I was doing a workshop at Improv Olympic West, which no longer exists. But they had given me a scholarship, a diversity scholarship for their sketch writing program. And I had come up with this sketch, this sort of the wise mother and the single friend. And when I talked to my girlfriend Lauren about it, we were like, wait, I think this could actually be a series. And so we created it together. We wrote it together. We produced the whole thing, and we recorded, I think, 16 of our sketches in one afternoon. Just hustled. We really wanted it. Definitely super, super short form content. It was definitely written for, for YouTube viewing, for just something that's nice and quick. Get in there, get the joke, kind of go out. So, but it's just a really great experience.
You also got your writer and producer credit out of that one.
That's right.
You tell people, we'll put it down on IMDb. Okay, looking at your bio, I see you have a career out performing shows for elementary school students, as well as performing at Disneyland.
Mm-hmm. You've got my main skill for 20 years was that I'm a performer, and so I need to be able to pay the bills. And one of the first things that I did when I moved back from Hedgerow,
right,
I ended up working at a company called The Imagination Machine that has been around for 40 years. And the children write the stories, and then we perform them. So it's sort of like sketch comedy written by children. And for 13 years, I got up at 6 a.m. and I drove to a school and performed these assemblies for the kids, and then came home and then went to Disneyland and performed for people at Disneyland as well. And sometimes you're just like, listen, I'm getting paid to do what I love to do. It can be, we always call jobs like that a little bit of the golden handcuffs, where they can really keep you in that place. They can keep you, you're happy, you're performing, you're doing what you love to do, but it's also very hard to go off and take classes, be available for auditions at a moment's notice. So that was pretty much the reason I finally decided to leave that, is because I was like, well, I'm really ready to do more film, TV, commercial, and be available for it. And to try, because it's until you try it, you don't really know. I didn't want to have any regrets.
You're dedicated, you got a good attitude, so you're doing fine, my dear.
Yes,
you're doing fine.
Great.
I understand that you are an artist in residence at the Braid,
yes,
formerly known as the Jewish Women's Theater. Please tell. Look at you. Go ahead. Here's mine. I got my card, my tack card. There you go.
There you go. We got
So the Braid came along.
Yes. Jewish Women's Theater at the time. God, they're amazing. Ron,
Yes.
You know what they do? They do, again, storytelling, real stories written by people definitely honoring the Jewish faith, but you don't have to be Jewish to write for them. You don't have to be Jewish to act for them. They are salon shows. Everything's on book, and they really are. 4 stools, 4 actors, maybe 3, maybe 5, in front, scripts in hand. And it's sort of like This American Life Live, getting to hear people's stories told directly to the audience, and then the audience has this cathartic experience. The more specific we are about our stories and our experiences, we find the more universal they are. And you get to be a part of this community experience of reading somebody's experience, sharing it out with this audience, and everybody has some connection to it. They're amazing. They're just amazing. I was really honored to be asked to be an artist in residence, and I've done quite a few salons with them.
So your website looks good, looks very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, indeed. We just happen to have a short clip from what they call What's in a Name. Roll it, Tony.
For the past 13 years as Jewish Women's Theater, we've been giving voice to Jewish women and uplifting their stories. Over time, we've expanded to spotlight all of the diversity within Jewish culture.
In pioneering a new art form at the intersection of storytelling and theater, we mainstream untold Jewish stories that challenge us to view ourselves and others differently and connect us all.
All right. I was looking to see if they would put you in that role, but they didn't. I was,
I'm in there a little bit and sort of in the background. You know, it's
oh,
interesting.
okay.
We were going to open Sex, Love, and Addiction in the 21st Century 2 days, well, on March 15th was when it was supposed to open.
Yes.
We were ready to go, and everything shut down, and theater really had to pivot, like a lot of actors and artists really did. And about 3 months later, we retooled it and then put it up for a Zoom performance, for virtual performances. And there's some things that you miss, right? You miss not getting that audience feedback. You miss not being in the room. But instead of these rooms that had at most 70 people in them for the size of room that we were in, all of a sudden our audiences were 300 people, and we had people from Kenya, and we had people from Israel, and we had people from Sweden, and we had people from the East Coast. I mean, it just was like, whoa, like all of a sudden we were able to connect with so many more people. I think it was a bit of a, got to look on the silver lining of everything. And I think it's just been really an amazing experience.
Gotcha. We got a couple more minutes, but I can't let you get out of here.
Okay.
You do VO or voice over work. Is that correct, madam?
That is correct. I'm hustling. I'm trying to get, as much work as possible. I get to do a lot of scratch track for the promos that I do. I love doing commercial promos, narration, character work, animation, games, anything, any of it. I'm ready to do it. So really love it. Like you said, that's again another reason I came to your class. Like, all right, let's look at different ways to project our voices and our personalities into the microphone.
Yes, a gift from God. You have it.
Oh, thank you.
What's next for you, my dear?
Well, right now I'm interning. It's a paid professional internship at ABC. I'm hoping that is going to translate into a full-time job. I'm writing, producing, editing as an intern, getting to do like all the creative stuff all at once into these little small pockets. So that's what I'm doing now. I'll probably be doing more shows at the Braid coming up here as the season starts, and gonna keep plugging whatever comes along.
Right, because I see they finally did that short film you did, Saying Goodbye, was finally completed.
Finally completed. Sometimes things take a while. Sometimes you record a commercial and it doesn't make it to air. You just kind of got to go with the flow and ebb and flow and have a good time. So,
my dear, thank you so much for being here today. It's always a pleasure to see you, and please, we got to get you to come back again.
Absolutely. Have a great one and enjoy your next interview.
Do the same. This is the Actor's Choice. I'm your host, Ron Brewington. Brother Tony.
Howdy do, Rhonda, my old friend. How are you? I'll be great in 30 seconds when I kick your behind out of here. Not before I apply for welfare for my children.
Good morning, Ron.
Not the old set. Got some new ones coming in about 8.5.
Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest today is an award-winning actress with over 50 years of acting experience. In fact, she coined a phrase of good luck that she puts on all of her letters. When she sends you a letter, she will say, "Walk in balance." That you say. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please help us walk today as we welcome veteran actor Adilah. Adilah, God bless you.
Good morning, Ron. Thank you for such a wonderful introduction. I appreciate
welcome to the Actor's Choice once again. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure having you. I heard some stuff. Well, we've seen a lot of your stuff. You got all those years of experience you've been in front of the camera. You've done a lot of different things. I hear you got a new recurring role coming soon to CW.
That's true. And the name of the series is 4400. Oh, I see you've got it up on the screen.
People made sure we got it. You got good people.
I am so glad. I got great people. So anyway, it's actually a remake of a series that was on for about 3 seasons a while back. And so we've got a whole new cast, whole new storylines in some ways, but the basic premise is still the same. It's a sci-fi drama.
Okay. We have another picture that goes along with that. Can you show that one, Tony? Oh, there you are. Look at you.
That's my character, Mrs. Grover. She's warm, she's wise, she's a wonderful character to play. And I love being on the set because she's so beloved. When I walk on, they don't even call me Adilah. It's like, Mrs. Grover.
We have another picture of that we got. Who's that other lady with you?
Oh, that's Brittany. And Brittany is the #1 cast member on the show.
Wow.
And so I play Mrs. Grover, who's known the character Shanice since she was a small girl. I changed her diapers, I fed her, I washed her after school. And so she comes to me, as one of the producers said, Mrs. Grover is like her safe haven. She comes to her.
Yes. Wow. I hope you have a lot of fun with that one. I know you're going to make it right. I know you're going to make it right.
We're having a great time. And it's great to have a reason to go to Chicago back and forth.
Yes, you did say that. You'll be shooting in Chicago.
We are shooting in Chicago. I've been there twice. I'm going back in about another week or so, and then I'll go back again next month. So at least 4 episodes and maybe more.
Yes. You see what dedicated artists do? They don't let nothing stop them. Don't let nothing get in the way.
That's right.
Got to do that.
That's right.
Well,
And
folks,
even we veteran actors, there's still work for us. So
amen.
Hopefully this will be
Amen.
something that's an inspiration for those who are becoming veteran actors to know that there is still work. We can still be working actors.
Ladies and gentlemen, Adilah is here today for a very special reason. It's called the Los Angeles Women's Theater, or LAWTF, presents the Virtual Empowerment Weekend. Okay, September 17th through the 19th. Can you tell us what is this event about? Tell us about this event.
Well, you know, this is our 8th year, and it's so wonderful. Every year we present this specifically tailored to solo artists, but anybody who's an artist can take advantage of it because we have such workshops and panels that deal with marketing, creating a dream team, touring, subjects that really can speak to anyone who is producing a show or performing in a show. And what makes it very specific to solo artists, however, is that we start with a workshop that really deals with creating a solo show. So for those who have something that's been dancing around in their heads and they're thinking they want to create their own show, they don't know quite how to do it, we invite them to join us. And that will be on Saturday morning. That'll be our first workshop that we have.
Okay, Tony, can you put the schedule up there? There you go. There you go.
All right. And that's called a spiritual approach to creating a solo show.
Okay.
I'll kick it off the night before on Friday the 17th. Sky Palkowitz, who is one of our board of directors, she will interview me and we'll have an hour together and we'll talk about different things. We'll talk about the festival. We'll talk about how we had to pivot in 2020. We'll talk about Empowerment Weekend, other upcoming events. We'll talk a little bit about me, but mainly it'll be about the festival.
Okay. Tony, can you show us the next one? Next slide there. Oh, hey, there's some of the people that you've had in the past.
That's right. These are some who have been on Empowerment Weekend in the past. Of course, we're virtual this year, but it's just as exciting. And the wonderful thing about being virtual, during the pandemic, there have been a lot of blessings and silver linings. And one of which is by being virtual, you can reach people around the globe.
Amen.
We're no longer limited to you coming to our spaces, our venues in LA.
Ms. Barnes, you put your signature all over this. Tell us about, just while we have a moment here, tell everybody how the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival started.
You know, it's an interesting story because it was in July of 1993. I went to a conference that was put on by the California Arts Council. It was in Pasadena. All these artists came. It was huge. And I met a woman by the name of Miriam Reed, and we connected because my solo show actually has women historically through time, 7 historical African-American women. I Am Woman Black is the name of the show. And she has a solo show, actually several of her historical characters. They're Anglo, mine are African-American, and that was our connection. We bonded. And by the end of the conference, Miriam had the wise idea of making the announcement, asking anyone who was a solo artist to join us in the rear of the room because they asked if there were any announcements. And here came all these actors, dancers, storytellers, performance artists, all these artists. and we said, we're on to something. So by the first meeting at the Burbank Little Theater, the Los Angeles Women's Theater Festival was born. So now we've produced over 600, close to 700 solo artists from around the globe. And we presented and supported over 3,000 youth in the LA Unified School District.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A lot of people owe their career to you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, we could say that.
Maybe I have a little hand in that. It's good to be a part of it.
Tony, can you go to the next slide, please? Here's the first day that you talked on Friday.
That'll be Friday night. As I mentioned, Sky's going to interview me, and we'll talk a little bit about myself, but mainly I really want to focus on the festival and the impact of the pandemic on theater.
Okay, how about the next one, Tony? Which is a Saturday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
And that will be a spiritual approach to creating a solo show. That's the one I talked about. If you have an idea, but haven't quite done it yet, this is the workshop that may fit you.
Okay. What when they do these workshops, what exactly do they bring? Do they bring? Tell us some of the things that go on in the workshop.
Well, in that particular workshop, a spiritual approach to creating a solo show, they will do a meditation, they'll do a visualization, it'll have a spiritual bend to it, and yet at the same time, the artist will be able to write a little bit, share a little bit of their writings with the group. And so it's a real hands-on workshop, that one is.
I don't need to tell you this, but it's a very competitive business that you're in right now, as you well know.
It certainly is. It certainly is. However, I believe that with talent, hard work, a vision, and a plan of action, it is very possible to survive in this business. That's how I got my home. My down payment to my home was from my solo show that I've toured to 3 continents and 40 states around the country. So it's possible.
They say in the record industry, and the hits just keep on coming.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Okay. Can you go to the next one, Tony? This is Saturday, 11 a.m. to 12 noon.
This is the one, successful marketing for your solo show.
Yes.
Marketing is key. And so those who participate in this particular panel will share their knowledge from their different points of view, their areas of expertise on how to really get the word out there.
Yes.
Pull in your audience and make sure that you've branded your show so that everybody knows what you're doing.
Right, right. You know, when you have a gathering like this, you get a chance. That's why I tell a lot of my people, friends that I know, always carry a business card with you.
Yes, yes.
Please carry a business card.
Calling card.
Yes. And the only thing that we say to them, if you put a picture on that, smile, please. You know, that kind of thing. People, this is a good opportunity to meet and greet people, do your thing and have a good time. Next one, Tony, noon until 1 p.m.
That's teamwork makes the dream work.
All right.
In order to have a solo show, it's not a solo affair. You've got to have a team. You need your director, you need your publicist, you need all of the elements, your tech team. You need all of those who are going to be a part of your team to really make that solo show successful.
Wow. Do you have any special extra people coming in, the surprise speakers coming in for this one?
We don't have any surprises. We put the names of everyone who's going to be a part of us, but everybody that we have knows what they're doing. They're going to bring their areas of expertise. And we're just delighted to have all of them. And it's going to be a huge group. This year, I think we're going to have something like about 31 presenters. That's a record-breaking number for us. A lot of very talented people from around the country who are going to join us. Again, because we're global now, virtually, we can have all these presenters who are in different cities, all the way from New York to wherever they're coming from.
Next one, 1:30 p.m. to 2:30 p.m., that event.
Business of the biz. It's impossible to be an artist without also learning about the business if you want to thrive. So we'll have those on the panel who will approach different aspects of the business, including an attorney who will talk about contracts, licensing of music. You can't just use people's music in your show without permission from BMI or ASCAP or whomever it is. And, working with venues, making sure that everything is clear on those contracts with the licensing and everything else that's related to any kind of legal matters that artists need to know about.
A lot of planning went into this event, I'm sure.
A lot of planning went into this event. Wow. However, this being our 8th year, it's not our first rodeo, so that really helps.
Does help. Can you show us the next one, Tony? This is the schedule again, and also gives you information on how to register for the event. Can you tell us about that?
Yes. They can certainly go to our website, and that's www.lawtf.org, and they'll forward them on because I don't know that site by heart, but if they go to our website, they'll get what they need. And so that next one that you're speaking of is called Activism Through Art, the 2:30 to 3:30.
Yes.
And we're really excited about that because we really feel that we as artists, we're healers in a certain way in terms of being creative healers. And someone said something when the pandemic first began. I had never thought in these terms, but they said, we're also first responders. We're first responders in terms of the spirit, the heart, in terms of creativity. We have our healing jobs, especially now during the pandemic. And I thought, wow, artists as first responders. I never thought of that, but we are. And we have contributed and helped people get through this.
Is there a telephone number that someone can call or website so they can get any information?
Yes, as I mentioned, the website is www.lawtf.org. They can call us at 818-760-0408. Time is running out. This is going to be September through 17th through the 19th, so they need to register soon.
Right. Tony, can you show us that logo one more time, please? Oh, there it is.
There you go. There you go.
Adilah, thank you so much for coming on today, and always, anytime you need us, just say the word.
Oh, I so appreciate you, Ron. You're wonderful, and I tip my hat for all that you do, for all the artists that you support. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Knowing people like you to make it happen. Yes,
okay.
Indeed. Adilah Barnes, thank you very, very much.
Enjoy
I want to thank our sponsors, Harvey Randman, Photography is an Art, Ron Irwin's Haiku, Style, Passion, Larry Buford's Book to the Future, Time Travel, Message in a Capsule, State Farm Agent Carla Green, and veteran actor Rob Brownstein's Actor Training School and Actor Space. Much thanks to our guest today, founder and artistic director of Fringe Benefits Theater Company, Norma Bowles, director, educational programs, Fringe Benefits Theater Company, Tiffani Nanka-Bruce, actress, writer, producer, Jasmine Curry, and last but not least, veteran actress, Adilah Barnes. And of course, special thanks to our ever growing worldwide audience. Be well, we say. We'll see you next time.